Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about Psalm 65, verse 5. It says, "You answer us with awesome and righteous deeds. God, our Savior, the hope of all the ends of the earth and of the farthest seas." Well, first of all, Christ said he's the root and offspring of David. And keep in mind, a lot of stuff is figurative, but the martial arts comparisons are actually pointing to martial arts. Okay. For example, when they use the argument of the water, right, it says, the water of life. And it's figurative. Why? Because water purifies. You drink water and you get refreshed, you get hydrated. It brings you life in a sense, right? That's why it's being used. David versus Goliath. It's used as an example because how you would actually prove that you're greater than other people is with martial arts, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Right? It says in Psalm 45, you love righteousness and hate wickedness. Therefore, God, your God, has elevated you above your companions. Because the Lord is a warrior. Okay? People, come from, for the most part, warrior tribes. Natural hand-to-hand combat. If someone was the top martial arts ever and some little kid came with a drone and drone struck him in his sleep, would that kid then magically become the top martial artist? No, because you have to prove it in a logical way, which goes back to the sparring, the principles of hand-to-hand combat, outmaneuvering, right timing, prioritization, speed, defense, agility, ability, on and on and on, all the transferable, universal, communicable, and convertible skills that sparring shows. And of course, after my flesh, it can't be done due to tech breeding, cheating, and generational gun gains. If you were like the whites and Jews who were in some kind of eugenicist, breeding control club, and you bred the slaves and you sabotage people all over the world, okay, knowing Africans fight the best, and then one day, you bred with their women or something and injected your genes there in your patriarchal line, would that allow for the possibility for you to be the new king? No way. That's the Antichrist. That's the ancient serpent. Genes, the symbol for genes and genetics is even similar to a serpent. The symbol for medicine. The coiling serpent. The serpent in Greco-Roman mythology is said to be the genius. In Western culture, it's a symbol of intelligence, believe it or not. A symbol of their spirit. Look up the genius in Greek and Roman mythology. It's a snake-bodied person or a snake, said to be the essence of a statue. You can't make this up. Again, no offense to anybody, this has to be said. Okay. So it says, you answer us with awesome and righteous deeds. When David struck down Goliath, he said, "This day I will strike you down and cut off your head, and the whole world will know that there's a God in Israel." Now that's how God will have answered the Jews in regards to what to do, who to make king, what have you. This is why the Jews took a very hostile and violent stance. They knew they couldn't see Christ toe to toe in the story. So they got together and started trying to stone him. And he escaped. He used his agility and his ability to escape in those situations. Because the principles line up. If 100 people started shooting at me, am I supposed to, catch bullets with my teeth and dodge them? No. The Bible is a story with a moral. And the moral is that this Royal African Falcon top martial arts order is the order of God. Amos 9:7, Genesis 10, Nahum 3, I believe it is. Babylon used to be great, and then it fell. Why? Because they gave up the patriarchal line of Nimrod, or what it's superimposed on. This mighty martial art line, right? A mighty warrior, mighty hunter before the Lord. So it says, how awesome are your deeds. Oh, excuse me, we're getting that's Psalm 66. When we get to Psalm 66, we'll talk about how they praise his deeds and his great power and the response from the enemies, which is the response we see here, right? Their tail tucked. They're cringing at the thought of one of them accepting my challenge because they know that they'll lose. So they say they want me crippled. They want me fueled. They want to make it so that you don't believe me. If they were in the spirit of God, if their genes were so respectable, would they resort to doing the most despicable act in history and still not catch the mistake? We know how despicable they are and how useless they are by how long it takes them to catch the mistake and to stop persecuting me. and to do justice by me to the best of their ability. They still haven't done it. Their genes and their heart and their offspring's worth and their eternal punishment is being weighed as we speak. Every moment, more information is added. So again, it says, you answer us, you answer, right? A messenger, you answer us, right? David, right? Jonathan, Saul, fought in battles. And he was said to be a prophet at times. Wasn't a good guy overall, according to the story. Okay. Joshua, Moses leading on battles, Abraham leading on battles, right? Moses defending the Midianite woman, killing the Egyptian, splitting the Red Sea, figuratively speaking, is figurative. And water, look at Revelation, the water stands for peoples, nations, multitudes, languages. Either the water of life from God or the muddied and polluted water of affliction of the devil. It says, you answer us with awesome and righteous deeds. So when they say, hey, this has nothing to do with martial arts, guys. Oh, come on, guys. When they say that, tell them to explain Psalm 65:5 says, you answer us with awesome and righteous deeds. If someone in the spirit of moral precision does the greatest known act, actual act, not figured act, in human history ever possible, how could you say that's not a message from God? How can you say that that person, which is me, is magically not the one God set apart? And what did God tell to the warrior leader Moses? He said, go tell the Jews I am. I tell the Jews and everyone else, I am Christ, I am the Messiah, I am the Savior. I am right about the things that I'm talking about. I am that I am.